And now we've got Stan on the line holding for us. Stan, go ahead with your question. Did we lose Stan? Stan?
Oh, there he is.
Go ahead with your question, Stan.
Oh, okay. I have two questions, really. The first question is it legal for them to check your vehicle? They stop you, or is it legal for them to search your car if you're driving somebody else's vehicle?
Okay.
Or either driving your mother's car or your father's car. As far as that goes, I mean, can they do that legal? Search the car.
That is a great question, Stan. So as far as whether they can search a car that you're driving that belongs to somebody else, yes. So officers generally have to have reason to stop a car and to conduct a search. They normally need probable cause for that because you do have an expectation of privacy. However, when vehicles are concerned, that expectation is lessened. So you don't have as much privacy rights when you're in a car. Now, if you're in a car that's not registered to you, so long as you're a licensed driver and they have, reason to stop you, that can be speeding or something of that sort. From there, it really depends on the circumstances as far as whether or not they can search. So let's say, for example, if they see something in the car, then that can lead to their ability to search. Does that help answer your question?
Well, yes, in a way it does, but let's say that the vehicle that you're driving, let's just say, for instance, there's some grass or something in the vehicle, and you don't know anything about it. Well, they search it, they gonna get you, and you don't even know anything about it being in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that can happen. So sometimes officers will ask if they can search a vehicle, and someone will say, yes, thinking there's nothing in the vehicle. However, it turns out, maybe a previous driver or someone left something in that vehicle. But once they do begin that search, if they do find it, then they can bring charges, and you have the right to argue against them bringing those charges against you. And typically what us attorneys will do is file, suppression motions to keep that sort of thing out if the search was not conducted legally.
Great question, Stan. Thank you. I've got a quick question for you.
Sure.
And it's kind of follow along from what Stan was asking. Mm-hmm. We always hear about you have a right to remain silent, but mm-hmm. what's another right that people may not know that they have if they happen to get pulled over?
Sure. So when someone gets pulled over, of course, you mentioned the right to remain silent. That's referred to as a Miranda right. Mm-hmm. So they definitely do not have to say anything. But also they certainly have their right to an attorney. And that is something I always tell any client, don't say anything without your attorney present. Make sure that you ask for your attorney, mm-hmm. because there are certain tactics that can be used by officers that people may not be aware of that can get them in trouble down the road.
Absolutely. Don't want to jeopardize something at the beginning before
Exactly.
they've even had a chance to kind of move it along. Mm-hmm. Great.